or index to indices from Latin. We just keep their original rules, right? It's a bit of a linguistic potpourri.
Wow, it's like we're collecting all these different rules. So, beyond just adding stuff to the end of a word, what other crazy things do languages do to show there's more than one of something? Because I'm sure it's not just suffixation.
Oh, no, not at all. Suffixation is popular, but languages get super creative. Some do prefixation, where you add an affix to the beginning instead, or reduplication, which is honestly one of my favorites. You repeat part or even all of a word. Think of Ilocano, an Austronesian language. Kalding is goat, but kalkalding is goats. It's like a playful repetition, you know? And then there's suppletion, which is just wild.
Suppletion? What's that, Odysseus? Sounds a bit like substitution, maybe?
You're absolutely on the right track. Suppletion is when you use an entirely different word for the singular and plural forms. Like totally different. Think of Russian, for example. Человек is person, but люди is people. Zero resemblance, really. It's like our go, went in English, but for nouns. It's a whole different lexical item. And this isn't even touching on languages that don't obligatorily mark plurals at all, like Chinese or Japanese, where context or other words like numerals do all the heavy lifting.
That's mind-boggling. So it's not just about one versus many. I remember hearing about other categories, like dual. Is that a thing in many languages?
Oh, the dual is absolutely a thing, and it's fascinating. While English just has singular and plural, many languages go way beyond. The dual specifically refers to two entities. It was even in Proto-Indo-European, the ancestor of many European and Indian languages. You see it in ancient Greek, Sanskrit, and it's obligatorily marked in modern standard Arabic on nouns, verbs, everything, really. We've got little traces in English, like both versus all, or either versus any. It's a relic, really.
That's incredible that it used to be so prominent, and we still have these little echoes. Are there, like, numbers for 3 or more precise small quantities too, or is that just wishful thinking?
No, not wishful thinking at all. It absolutely exists. Beyond the dual, some languages have a trial for 3 entities. It's much rarer, but you'll find it in some Austronesian languages, especially in their pronouns. And then, my personal favorite is the pockle. That's for a few or a small indefinite number, usually more than 2 but less than many. Beso, a Cushitic language, has it, and Yimas, a Papuan language. It's so specific, isn't it?
Wow, a pockle. That's really specific. And I bet it gets even more nuanced than that.
Oh, it does. Some languages, go even further with greater pockle, quadral, quintal, though these are exceedingly rare and often debated by linguists. Sursurunga, another Austronesian language, reportedly has a 5-way distinction in its pronouns: singular, dual, pockle, greater pockle, and plural. It's just mind-blowing. And then you have languages that use general number, where the noun form doesn't specify singular or plural at all. It's all about context or other words, which is quite common too.
So if it's not always about explicit grammatical markers, how do languages just quantify things? Like if I want to say a bunch or a few?
Right, exactly. That's where we get into quantifiers and specific number words. English uses things like couple for 2, double for 2 times, triple for 3. Other languages have similar concepts, sometimes as distinct words, sometimes grammatical constructions. And then there are distributive numbers. Latin had them, Romanian still does, where you say things like 1 by 1, 2 by 2, or 3 each. Imagine that. Singuli, bini, perni in Latin.
It's a very elegant way of expressing distribution, isn't it?
That's so cool. And what about those words like some or many? We use those all the time. Are they just universal?
Pretty much. Some, many, few, all, most, much. These are your standard quantifiers, used when the exact number isn't known or just isn't important. They can apply to count nouns like many books or non-count/mass nouns like much water. But then you get to things like measure words or classifiers, especially in East Asian languages like Chinese and Japanese.
Okay, so classifiers are about how you count something, not just how many. What about collective nouns like a flock of birds? That feels like it's singular, but also plural, you know?
Oh, collective nouns are a brilliant point. A flock of birds, a team, a government, they refer to a collection of things as a single unit. In English, they're grammatically singular, but semantically, they're plural. This is why you get that British English thing where they might say, the team are playing well, if they're thinking of individuals, whereas American English almost always sticks to, the team is playing well. It's a subtle but fascinating difference, isn't it? And those terms of venery, like a pride of lions, those are just fantastic. So evocative, you know, from medieval hunting culture.
They really are. So, does this concept of number also affect how words agree with each other in a sentence?
Absolutely. Grammatical agreement is huge. In many languages, nouns, adjectives, determiners, and verbs all have to match in number, like this car versus these cars. But some languages, like Turkish, have number discord. You say 5 book instead of 5 books. The numeral replaces the need for plural marking. And get this, some languages are truly numberless. They don't have grammatical number as a mandatory category at all. Piraha, for instance, is reported to have no number marking even on pronouns. Quantity is purely lexical or contextual. It's a complete paradigm shift, really, from what we're used to.
That's a profound shift, from specific numbers to none at all. It makes me wonder which language contrasts most strikingly with English in plurals. Could it be Greek?
You're absolutely spot on, Athena. Greek, particularly ancient Greek, offers a spectacular departure from English's straightforward plural system. English mostly uses s, but Greek plunges into a rich tapestry of endings.
A tapestry? Sounds complex. How so?
Imagine multiple plural forms determined by the noun's declension and case. Different endings for masculine, feminine, and neuter nouns, changing again for nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. It's a multi-dimensional puzzle compared to just adding an S or ES.
So many books, depending on their role? That's a huge leap.
Exactly. And ancient Greek even retained the dual number. English simplified number to singular and plural, but Greek preserved a far more intricate system. It's a vivid illustration of how dramatically languages can diverge.
It really makes you appreciate how much simpler our S is, doesn't it? But then, where did that S even come from? Was it always just there?
Ah, Athena, the ubiquitous S is a fascinating relic. Its origins trace to Old English strong masculine nouns. Back then, English had a robust system of noun endings, indicating case and number, much like Latin or Greek.
So it was just one of many endings, not the only one?
Precisely. Initially, the S sound, often as or es, marked nominative and accusative plurals of these strong masculine nouns. Through simplification, this ending generalized, especially in northern dialects, slowly becoming dominant.
Generalize? So it just, outcompeted all the other plural forms?
Exactly. As Middle English evolved, this S form gained dominance. Other plural forms, like N or vowel changes, either faded or became exceptions, surrendering to the S. It's a triumph of linguistic simplicity, really.
That's such a clear evolutionary path for our S. But if we're looking at truly intricate systems, how does Sanskrit stack up? Is it in the same league with ancient Greek with its plural complexity?
Oh, Athena! Sanskrit is a masterpiece of grammatical intricacy, absolutely on par with ancient Greek, if not more so. It elegantly preserves the three grammatical numbers, singular, dual, and plural.
The dual again. So, like Greek, it has specific forms just for two things, not just one or many?
Precisely. And for each number, nouns decline through 8 different cases, each with its own set of endings. So a single noun can have 24 different forms just based on its number and its role in a sentence. It's a truly sophisticated system.
24 forms for one noun? That's just mind-boggling compared to English. It makes our S feel almost laughably simple.
Indeed. It's a vivid demonstration of how deeply grammatical number can be interwoven with a language's entire structure, offering incredible precision, really. It shows a linguistic architecture from a completely different era.
Wow, Sanskrit's system is just astounding. It makes you wonder, what about Arabic? We touched on their dual form earlier, but how do they handle the general concept of more than one?
Arabic. It's another linguistic adventure, Athena. While the dual is indeed a vital, obligatory marker, Arabic's plural system, especially with what we call broken plurals, is truly distinct and quite pervasive.
Broken plurals? That sounds quite dramatic. Is it like the word just completely transforms?
Precisely. Instead of simply adding a suffix, the singular word's internal structure changes. Think kitab for book, becoming kutub for books. The vowels shift, sometimes letters are added or removed within the word itself. It's a completely different pattern for a vast number of nouns, really. We also have sound plurals for certain masculine and feminine nouns, which are more predictable with suffixes, but the broken ones are truly prolific and often unpredictable.
So for many words, it's not just an ending, it's an entire internal reconstruction? That's quite a departure from what we're used to.
Indeed. It's a testament to the incredible diversity of linguistic strategies, moving far beyond the simple S or even declensions we've discussed. It's like learning a whole new vocabulary just for plural forms.
That's an excellent and very specific question, Athena. We've talked about so many different systems, from suffixes to internal changes and even completely different words. It makes me wonder, Odysseus, can any of these plural systems in various languages, particularly the ancient ones, be traced back to something as iconic as ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics?
That's an excellent and very specific question, Athena. It's a natural leap given the antiquity and visual nature of hieroglyphics. However, the short answer is largely no. While ancient Egyptians certainly had its own sophisticated plural marking, it was primarily a morphological system contained within the Afro-Asiatic language family, and it didn't exert a direct, widespread influence on the plural systems of, say, Indo-European languages or other major families we've discussed.
So it didn't really export its plural rules like Latin or Greek might have for some European languages. Why not, if it was such a foundational ancient civilization?
Precisely. Ancient Egyptians' plural system, even when written in hieroglyphs, often involved repeating the singular glyph 3 times to indicate a plural, or sometimes using specific plural strokes or suffixes. It also had a very clear dual for 2. But its linguistic lineage and geographical spread meant its direct influence on plural morphology in distant language families was quite limited. Its system was quite unique to its own development, rather than a blueprint for others, really.
That's fascinating. So rather than a shared origin point, It's more like an independent, equally complex evolution of number marking within its own language family.
Exactly. It underscores that pluralization is a universal concept, but the methods to express it are incredibly diverse and often develop independently or within closely related language groups.
That's fascinating, an independent, complex evolution. But what about the ancient Mayans? Did they have a distinctive approach to plurality, especially with their hieroglyphs?
Excellent question, Athena. Shifting to Mesoamerica, the ancient Mayans, with their incredible writing, certainly had fascinating strategies. Their various Mayan languages showed distinct ways of expressing more than one, really.
So, not just simple singular and plural forms. How did they manage it? Was it visible in their famous hieroglyphs?
Many Mayan languages often lack a universal plural suffix. For animates, there might be a specific marker, but for inanimates, plurality is usually inferred from context or through quantifiers. Their hieroglyphic script similarly relied on context or numerical classifiers rather than overt plural glyphs.
So, less about a universal suffix and more about context. That's quite a departure from what we'd expect. It just goes to show how truly diverse linguistic solutions are. That's incredible. The sheer diversity in how languages operate. It makes me wonder, can we really trace people's geographical origins and migrations by looking at their linguistic roots?
Absolutely, Athena. Language is a profound archaeological tool. Tracing linguistic families, like Indo-European, back to their proto-languages allows us to pinpoint origins and map ancient human movements with remarkable accuracy. It's a deep historical record, really, revealing how groups spread and interacted.
So, words become an ancient GPS. But beyond movement, do languages offer strong indications of a culture's unique logic or worldview?
They unequivocally do. A language's structure, its grammatical categories, its nuanced vocabulary, these offer incredible insights into a culture's priorities. Languages with rich kinship terms reflect deep societal family structures, for example. Or those with many words for specific types of snow clearly reflect environmental realities. Language doesn't just describe the world, it actively shapes how a culture understands it, really.
So, if language is this incredible cultural compass reflecting our worldview, what happens when that compass is thrown onto an entirely new planet, Odysseus? Would our languages be dramatically changed if we were to settle on another planet someday?
Oh, Athena, the very thought is profound contemplation. A radically new reality, alien landscapes, novel social structures would inevitably reshape our speech. It would be a linguistic revolution, really.
A revolution? So, beyond new words for alien flora, would our grammar itself shift? Or even our sounds?
Absolutely. New environments or technologies demanding nuanced terms would force radical adaptation. Grammar, syntax, and phonology could all evolve. Imagine new sounds for unique alien sensations, or even new communication methods born of necessity. Language is remarkably plastic. A new world would sculpt a truly new linguistic identity, really.
That's wild. So our descendants on another planet might speak a language we'd barely recognize. That's wild. Our descendants on another planet might speak an unrecognizable language, but on Earth, what about truly universal things like the sun, moon, or stars? Do these constant celestial objects show up similarly across languages or get unique linguistic treatments?
Ah, Athena, an astute observation. While new worlds mean new words, these celestial bodies are fundamental. They permeate human language globally, woven into metaphor, idiom, and timekeeping.
So it's not just sun and moon in every language. How do they manifest beyond simple naming?
Exactly. The sun is often personified. Helios in Greek, Ra in Egyptian. The moon too, like Luna in Latin, lunar. German even genders them differently. Die Sonne, feminine, and der Mond, masculine.